our last speaker, Dr. Patel.
Good evening, all. My name is Girish Patel. I am a physician. I don't know anything about trains, rails, economics, whatever it is. All I know is how to practice medicine, build up a business, and hire people. And the reason I got involved in this project a couple of 3 months ago is because of NIMBY. Basically, I was called and told. Somebody called me and said, "Hey, did you know your property is in this line?" I had no idea. And they said your 16th Street office is going to be taken over by high-speed rail. So I got involved, and I learned a little bit about it. And then what happened was, the more I read, more I learned, more I studied, I found out how bad this project is. So, my cohort, Jeff Taylor, has said a bunch of things. I was told today's session is about jobs, so I'm going to hopefully try to stay within the jobs parameters here. And I have a little presentation for you. First, before I start, Mr. Chapman, thank you for bringing Caterpillar. It's really a fantastic thing that you did at Tejon. Caterpillar, for those you don't know, just bought 46 acres by Tejon Ranch, and they're going to have a new, I don't know what they're going to do, but taste track and something like that, right?
They're building and then Dollar General Distribution just announced too. So,
right.
Again, the distribution logistics is taking off.
Yeah, it's great. It's very good. Mr. Watson, I really appreciate your addressing the air quality issue. I think it's a really important issue. I wrote an article about it in California about 3-4 years ago when I went to India. I was growing up, the air quality was so bad in the morning and evening, my eyes would burn and your throat would hurt, really, literally. And when I went a couple of years ago, it was clean. I mean, the skies were blue. I wrote an article, I found out that they have used natural gas in all the vehicles. They destroyed all the rickshaws, they were burning kerosene, they replaced all the trucks and buses with natural gas. They cut down the vehicles going down during daytime, and that really cleaned up air significantly. And I think we should really look into natural gas as an alternative fuel. We have plenty of it. Anyway, that's one part of it. I digress. Yeah. Getting back to the jobs, and Mr. Chapman very eloquently addressed the jobs issue. Let me take a few points from the business plan, 2011 draft business plan. So next, please. You have a pointer? Anyway, if you can read this, page 196 of the business plan says this is the instructions from the feds that the money is supposed to develop an average figure of 20,000 jobs per year per $1 billion investment, just what you say. 1/3 as a direct employment and 2/3 from multiplier effects. What is multiplier effect? I think you need to know this. Multiplier effect. Factory will hire its own workers, buy from suppliers they hire their own workers. Those workers will go to local restaurants, stores, etc. and buy stuff and eat stuff like that. I started my company about 25 years ago with 7 employees. A couple of years ago, we had grown to 170 employees. From this calculation, I think I probably hired over 2,500 employees because all my employees went to restaurants and bought stuff and things like that, So this is first fallacy in the whole calculation deal that they are coming up with. And that's what politicians do. Well, I'm sorry.
I thought it was a compliment.
Only one more year.
This came from the government. 100,000 jobs will be generated by first construction work in the Central Valley. That is the estimate. This is again from business plan. Los Angeles to San Francisco metro area will generate 800 to 900K jobs, eventually well over 1 million jobs. You addressed that. Guess what? Los Angeles and San Francisco metro area are not part of this high-speed rail. So I don't know where these 1 million jobs came from. They are not even part of high-speed rail. This thing, as it's planned, goes from Merced to Selma. not to Los Angeles, not to San Francisco. They dropped it. They now call it a blended plan. That means north of Merced and south of Selmar or San Fernando Valley, you are going to use existing transport mechanism, buses and trains or whatever is existing. So I don't know where this came from. Okay? Then page 198 again says operations and maintenance jobs. When this is completed, the construction is completed, the trains are running, you will need 4,500 jobs. This is phase one. That means, again, from Merced to Selmar. We are not going to San Francisco. And they had some like 1,200 for north phase and 1,300 for south phase, etc. But remember those numbers, please. Page 90, estimates of jobs in these plans are presented in job years. Now, that's the crux of it. So a person at 20 years is 20 job years. They came up with entirely new calculations like they did in Obamacare, that, it's not jobs, it's job years. So, you multiply the whole thing by years and you got from 20,000 became 100,000 jobs. Full phase one system will generate 1.15 to 1.3 million jobs over next 2 decades. This is from the business plan, okay? Now, next please. It's great. Mr. Chapman described very eloquently the jobs that will be created. We'll have 100,000 jobs, 200,000 jobs, whatever it is, okay? And as I show here, frankly, those numbers are phony. And I'll prove it later on why. On the other hand, there is a flip side of the coin. They are only talking about jobs they will create. They are not talking about the jobs this plan will destroy. And I think it is a really important thing to consider a net. What is a net? In business, we say, hey, I took this much money, I spent this much money, I took home X amount of money. You got to have net, right? How many jobs created, how many lost? Next, please. This is the plan through downtown Bakersfield. And I hope I copied it from the business plan, so I can't, I hope you can read it. But this says Bakersfield. Here is the Truxton Avenue. This is California Avenue. This is the railroad depot that you go by every day and cross over on Oak Street. Mercy Hospital is here, and my little office is here. And that's why I got involved. I learned that this train goes directly over my office. Just last year, we put $5 million into their office, bought a new MRI and new CT scanner. And when you have a train going over this new MRI, which is a 3 Tesla, very high magnet MRI, it's going to destroy it. We employ like 40 or 50 employees in that location. They'll be gone. It is just a small portion of what we will face, and we are just one business. About over 250 to 300 businesses like this will be affected by this train, okay? And the property values all along the track will be gone. Next, please. This is another crux of it, okay? This is a proposed metro station for this high-speed rail project. Now, let me give you a little bearings here. See this little thing? This is our existing Amtrak station. So maybe this will give you a little bit of comparative that how big this thing is, okay? It goes from Truxton all the way to California Avenue and takes over Mill Creek development and goes further west. You have 5,000 car parking in there and 100,000 square feet station, expecting 9,000 to 10,000 riders every day from Bakersfield. So in Bakersfield, the calculations are over 280 businesses will be destroyed and 1,350 jobs will be gone. So that's your, you said that we'll bring 1,500 jobs. Here is a net loss of 1,300 jobs.